Guys, AXL here with Red Hot Heat, back for another war highlight video. Not a really close war, as you can see. 5-star difference. They weren't very good, but we had a very great war. It went really smooth, and every single town hall level performed very well. Our town hall 9s were able to pretty much clear out all of their town hall 9s and below within the first 2 hours, and then we had I think 13 Town Hall 9 attacks left for scouts, and so we scouted their entire top Town Hall 11s and 10s, and we even managed to get 2 Town Hall 9 V11 2-stars, so very great job. And then our 10s got I think 5 10v10 3-stars. And how many are there? Let me see. There are, let me see, goes up to 10. So there were 7. So we got 5 out of 7 Town Hall 10s 3-starred by our Town Hall 10s. And then we even had 2 Town Hall 11s and 2 Town Hall 10 attacks to spare at the end. So very nicely done. So we're going to take a look at the Town Hall 11s and 10s first. And then we're going to do the Town Hall 9s in a separate video, I think. The only reason I say that is because I've been having some issues with my my OBS crashing during long recordings, and it's really pissing me off. So I don't want to risk it crashing in the middle of the recording. So anyway, we're going to take a look at my attack on number 1, if I can find. Okay, there we go. Slayer later used the spare 11 attacks to practice, so that's why I'm going to the attack this way. But anyway, starting out with the Queen Walk, not a very difficult layout, not a very smart base design. So I'm gonna do a Queen Walk. I brought CC healers. You can notice the difference between the Shining healers and the level 4 healers. But anyway. So this entire bottom section is reachable by the Queen. So the plan is to Queen Walk down this way, and then at this point I would wall break in here, have a baby dragon to funnel, and then have the Queen come in here, take out the Eagle Artillery, and then move along this path. Once the Eagle Artillery goes down, I'm free to drop a couple of Valks and maybe my Barb King to help the Queen clear out this section, and then I would drop my Valkyries in to break through this wall, and then jump to the Town Hall with a Rage. So that's the plan, or that was the plan. Didn't go according to plan, and then you'll see why in a couple of seconds here as I fast forward through this part. So as the Queen walks into cannon range, I drop the baby dragon to start my funnel, and also to tank the archer tower, and then I drop 1 test wall breaker followed by 5 more wall breakers. In hindsight, I should have just brought 5 wall breakers. I brought 6, and I dropped all of them, and they were able to get through the second layer of wall, which I didn't expect whatsoever. I drop a wizard at this point to help take out that loon with the splash damage. I didn't want it to start dropping bombs on my Queen. And then the wizard helps with the pup cleanup afterwards, and then even goes on to help me take out the Eagle Artillery. So at this point, didn't want that wall broken because now my Queen's going to step inside. I dropped my Barb King and 5 wizards in an attempt to start cleaning the left hand side, but they actually end up going to the middle, so I quickly drop the rest of my Valks and the jump spell. Unfortunately, the rest of my Valks decide to go outside. So it kind of did it in reverse, but luckily the Valkyries under Rage along with the Barb King under Rage, they're able to get the Town Hall pretty low, and then a couple of shots from my Queen under Rage is able to get that Town Hall taken care of. So that was really fortunate on my part, being able to get that Town Hall down. I could have just as easily not gotten it if those skeletons got to my Queen any sooner, or the Valks didn't get that many hits on the Town Hall. But anyway, it worked out. So that's that one, and then move on to number 3. Teemo takes this with his Town Hall 9, coming in with a Queen Walk, Golem Bowler with a Valks to the core. So it's going to start off with a Queen Walk on the bottom left hand side. Drops down 2 wizards there to create a funnel. I think probably should have brought a second baby dragon in lieu of 2 wizards and 1 wall breaker. For that funnel, I think it would have been more worth it. I would have got, let me see, it would have got 2 buildings for sure. Maybe a third, probably not. Probably just 2 buildings. Meh. So I guess it didn't work out too much different, or too much different. Anyway, rage spell down for the Valkyries here. They're gonna come over, kill the queen, and then go back into the town hall compartment, take out all of those archers. Queen's gonna start shooting that baby dragon. Valks are able to take out the town hall under that rage. Queen's gonna take out this Inferno Tower and then eventually move on to the Eagle Artillery here. Uses the ability and takes the Eagle Artillery down, which is really important because the final part of this is to get more percentage, and with the Eagle down, it will start raining down on his remaining troops. So he pops the Barb King down here, and then this rage spell I didn't really like, both in placement and in use. I mean, rage spells work 50% less on heroes, so if you can, you would rather drop them on troops rather than heroes. And with a wizard left, I would have dropped the Barb King and then wizard behind, and then raged the Barb King and wizard. I think that would have been a more effective use of that. Especially as you'll see here, Barb King's gonna start beating on this wall for the rest of his life. So if there was a wizard behind him, the wizard would have been able to take out the archer tower at least under that rage, so it would have gotten more out of it. So 1 wizard and 3 minions left. Should have probably dropped it on that army camp there. Minions first, then wizard. Wizard getting 1 shot on that army camp would have taken it down quite a significant amount, and then the minions would have probably finished it off. But that's nitpicking. Really hard to do, getting 2-star on a Town Hall 11 with Town Hall 9. So great job. Number 4. Slayer hitting number 4 with Wally. A La Luna attack. Baby Dragon on the right hand side and at the top to create the funnels. And then Golem down with wizards to create funnels as well. So funnel's been created. Barb King's down, bowlers behind. Raid spell to have everything go in, start taking out buildings. Barb King on the Inferno Tower. It's gonna wrap around here. Eventually they will wrap around to take out that second Inferno Tower here. But then comes in with the air portion of the attack. Pretty much surround the entire rest of the base with lavas and loons. Now he pops his Grand Warden ability, keeping all of those loons nice and healthy. Very nicely done. That's Archer Tower. I think he's got like 15-ish loons left. Very nice. Alright, number 5 by Bert. So Bird's going to come in with a La Luna attack as well. Starting off with a Queen Walk from the right hand side, Baby Dragon to create a funnel. Looks like that Baby Dragon's going to get some nice value here, taking down a couple of trash buildings as well as that cannon. Even takes a couple of shots at that storage before it gets taken down by the air defense. So as you can see, the Queen's going to start walking up north and take out this air defense along the way. And then once she gets a bit closer here, Bird's gonna drop a golem down, a couple of wizards, create a funnel, and then test wall breaker, followed by 3 more wall breakers to break through that top section of the wall. So CC Bowler's in, gonna pop the Grand Warden ability here, and then into another rage spell. Poison down for the clan castle. Barb King's gonna go over, take out that Archer Queen real quick. So this last rage I don't think was really necessary. There's not much in the way of defenses, so but let's take a look at what's left. You see the Queen shooting this Inferno Tower here, and then this Bowler's going to take out that Bomb Tower. So really what is left is this in terms of defenses. That's all. After that Queen walk into Golem Bowler. So the kill squad took out what is that, like 70% of the base, and then he's got, I mean, in hindsight, they even got skips on this air defense. Look at how much health is left on the air defense, just like a sliver. So in hindsight, obviously, it would have been probably better to bring only 1 Lava Hound, maybe more cleanup troops. Because what's going to end up happening is, because there's not really that much defenses left, his loons aren't going to even, or not loons, Lava Hounds aren't even going to bust. And obviously it is quite unlucky here. It's got 3 air mines, and all 3 of them hit loons instead of the Lava Hound. But he's got all 3 heroes up, and they're doing a really good job of cleaning up the outside. Very nicely done. That kill squad was crazy value. Number 6. So I take out number 6. Mercy had, I mean not Mercy, Dama had scouted this with his Town Hall 9 account, which is Mercy. He used a slightly different strategy, but same Queen Walk, which is what's important about this attack. So I accidentally dropped the wall breakers in the wrong spot there. They went up instead of into that middle section, which is where I wanted. So I ended up dropping a rage spell, and then my last remaining 2 wall breakers to get that wall broken, because that's very important for this this attack, because the Queen has to go inside here. So witches come out, drop the poison spells, and take out the witches here, and then I drop another rage spell down. Queen was getting quite low. At this point I drop a wizard down to start clearing out the outside trash, and then a baby dragon on the bottom here to start creating a funnel for my golem and bowlers. Drop the bowlers down a little bit too quick before the golem started tanking the cannon, and end up losing a bowler. And more importantly, I accidentally dropped my CC miners, which were meant for the core. What I meant to drop was the Valkyries, and the Valkyries were supposed to go in ahead of time and trigger these 2 giant bombs, since Valkyries are much faster, and under their rage they would have zipped through. but in hindsight, it wasn't that bad. So the miners are going to come out around the outside, clear out all this trash on the outside, which will keep the bowlers targeting the stuff inside instead of shooting outside. Meanwhile, I have miners in the core working on the town hall. The Voxer, two Voxer have broken in and will help the two miners that are left in the middle, and also tank that Expo. So everything's going to converge here on this last section. Golem is still doing some nice tanking here, and then I just have pretty much a bunch of miners left with a couple of wizards, a bowler, and my queen. So it did work out. Number 7 by Timo. Timo getting a 6-pack with his Town Hall 10 this war. Also got that Town Hall 9v11 2-star as well. But anyway, comes in with a golem bowler entry with a hog finisher. This was scouted out by Boyle. Rage spell down. So hogs in. Heal spell down for the hogs after that bomb tower. So they're going to come into this Inferno Tower relatively healthy. And it's only a level 1 Inferno Tower anyway. The only critique I have for this attack is I would not have dropped all of my hogs in the beginning. I would have saved at least 4 hogs so that when the hogs or your main group reaches around here and you have that heal spell, it's going to be tanking everything here. Meanwhile, you could send those 4 hogs over to this border, take out this section. That way all of your hogs would have stayed together instead of having this split right here. And that's one of the nuances to targeted hogs. So pretty much this small group here was sacrificed, which isn't a big deal. He still has a significant amount of hogs coming in from the top, and then he drops the last heal spell down for those hogs, and they will be able to finish the rest of the defenses here. Also maybe 1 less hog and 1 extra wizard for cleanup. Would have been good. Very nicely done. Having these specific scouts done for the Town Hall 10s is really beneficial. Helped a lot this war. Okay, so Timo also taking out number 8. You'll notice that a lot of these attacks, they either don't exactly go according to plan, or there's some flaws or mistakes that are made. But we managed to get the 3 stars because of practice, really, with these strategies and being able to think on our feet. And that's a very important trait for a good attacker, is being able to think on your feet if something doesn't go exactly according to plan. And I mentioned that because that does happen with quite a few of our attacks, including this one here. You'll see the jump spell is a little bit too far down for his Barb King and Valkyries there. So he does drop that Rage Spell down for his Barb King and Valks just to speed him along, and pops the Barb King ability as well, allowing the Barb King to break through the wall faster than the Valkyries. That way they reroute, come back in. The reason why I say he needed the Barb King to come in this way is because obviously he meant for the Barb King and Valkyries to take out these two air defenses, maybe even a third one. And his La Lune attack was supposed to come from this end, one lava here, one lava here, and then Lunes over in this section. But because this air defense is still up, his first Lava Hound's gonna go over here instead of coming along this way and tanking for his balloons. So quickly he drops that second Lava Hound over to tank for the second batch of loons that come over. And finally that Lava Hound does end up rerouting and going over to that air defense. It's got haste spells down, covering almost the entire map, and they converge on that last Tesla. So very nicely done. It's got quite a few cleanup troops here, wizards, minions of his own, and balloons. One thing that we need to work on, I've noticed, is deploying cleanup troops as we do the attack. It's hard to do because it requires some micromanagement, which I'm personally very bad at. So I'm really bad about dropping cleanup troops as I do an attack, whether it be a Hog attack or a La Lune attack, or whatever. I have to sort of think about it and have it in the back of my mind before an attack, in order to remember to do that. Even then I still forget sometimes, because you're so occupied with the main attack that you forget about the cleanup. But it can save a considerable amount of time if you start your cleanup early, and maybe even save you from getting that dreaded 99% 1-star or 2-star. But anyway, moving on to number 9. We're gonna watch James's attack. He does a minor attack, but Calvin actually 3-starred it first with a dragon attack. So we'll watch that right after this. Actually, you know what? We're gonna watch Calvin's attack first. Might as well watch it in order. So moving down to Calvin, number 9. Alright, so Calvin's attack is a dragon attack. So we had talked about strategy for this attack, me, James, and Calvin, but unfortunately Calvin, I think, stepped away for a second, and then me and James talked about it, and there was some stuff that me and James said that that Calvin didn't see, and because of the amount of comments, sort of got buried, and Calvin ended up not seeing the full plan. So I think in hindsight we should have probably, after we finalized the plan, we should have probably posted it to Discord or something, so that the entire plan can be in one place instead of having to scroll up and missing stuff. But anyway, let me tell you the full plan first. So step 1 would be, I'm going to pop this radius first. Step 1 would be to drop a bowler here, right outside of the radius of that cannon. Bowler is going to skip over and kill this mortar. Also drop a minion on that cannon as well. And then second bowler would come over here, skip over, kill this air defense. So that is step 1. Step 2 is drop the Archer Queen here. She's going to come over, take out this air defense, swing over here, take out this air defense. So that's the queen part. After you drop the queen and you know she's safe after she kills the Barb King, then you move on to step 3. Step 3 would be to drop a dragon here, allow it to create a funnel, and then drop a Barb King down with a couple of wizards, probably around 3 wizards, to come over in this direction and eventually take out this air defense. And then once the funnel is created, you would drop, your queen would have taken out all of this, and then your big dragon would have taken out this, and then your main group of dragons would be deployed all in this area, coming in this way. So that's the full plan. But like I said, Calvin didn't see all of that, so he missed the bowlers and the wizards to help the Barb King. So let's continue watching. So Baby Dragon Down is creating the funnel. This wasn't in the actual plan. I think we had talked about this before. It was one of the iterations of the plans that we went through. It was worth it. Baby Dragon ends up taking out 4 buildings, so it kind of creates a funnel anyway. But Big Dragon down now, Barb King's down, Queen's moving her way to that second air defense, so safe to drop the rest of the dragons now. Unfortunately, no wizards for the Barb King. Those 2 giants, I'm not sure if they were meant. I'm pretty sure if you meant for them to be tanking for the Barb King, they should have dropped first instead of the Barb King dropping first, and then the giants after. But yeah, I don't think you needed the giants at all. I think just 2 wizards would have been good, or 3 wizards would have been good for the Barb King. Let's continue. So unfortunately, as you can see, that air defense is on a sliver, and it will start shooting down the dragons at this point. Fortunately, the Queen lures a group of dragons over to her, and that air sweeper's sort of keeping them over on this side. And because the bowlers didn't take out that back air defense, that air defense was shooting down some dragons as well. But at this point, pretty much not that much left of the base, and because of the Queen is still getting healed by those 2 healers, she's able to survive and be able to clear out the rest of these buildings. There were too much minions. Didn't need that many minions, so could have brought those wizards, and didn't need the 2 giants, so could have brought the bowlers. So roughly the number of dragons would have been pretty much the same, or around the same. But let's watch James's attack now with a different strategy. So having seen Calvin's attack, namely his Queen Walk, James decides that that part is perfect, and even the Baby Dragon and Barb King part of the attack also works. So he kept those 2 parts of the attack and just decided to use miners for the rest of it. So again, similar start you'll see here. Queen taking out the air defense, sweeping around towards the right, and then Barb King here, you can see the difference. James brought the 3 wizards, and he's able to get to the air defense and take it out. Unfortunately, what happens here is the Barb King doesn't lure out the entire CC. This guy has 35 archers in his clan castle. Super annoying. He's got that poison spell, but unfortunately, in the heat of battle, didn't notice that there's 2 archers here chipping away at his healers. And because archers have a big range, and obviously the Archer Queen has a big range, that range is more than 7 tiles, and between the archers to the healer and the healer to the Archer Queen, so the Archer Queen doesn't see the archers hitting the healers. But anyway, moving on, the miners are making their way in. They deal with the remainder of the clan castle under a rage and a heal. and now a second heal over them just to make sure they stay nice and healthy. They kill the queen, take out the ground skeletons, and then move on to the Inferno Tower, which is really the threat of this base. After the Inferno Tower goes down, drops that heal down to get them all back up to full health. And then with this many miners left and pretty much only a couple of defenses left in the core, these miners are gonna be able to take it out no problem. You'll notice that he had all of his giant bombs on the outside, so this was a perfect base for a miner attack. Alright, moving on to, actually we're gonna do a Death of a Town Hall 10 on number 10. It was hit by Fear, James, and myself. So we're gonna end this one here and then make a separate video for the Town Hall 9s. So hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you next time.